I'd like to call this regular monthly meeting to order. This is, of course, our March regular meeting, so at this time, I'm going to call for a moment of silence, followed by the pledge. A moment of silence, please.
Most kind of gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you for this opportunity to gather together to do the work that you call us to do. We pray now that you would guide us, Lord, that you give us wisdom and discernment, and that it will be patient with us in Christ's name.
Get to the flag.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Coleman, read our statement, please.
Cherokee County Board of Education permissions for every student to graduate from high school and to be joyfully competitive for work, post-secondary education, and prepare for life in the 21st century.
Great, thank you. You have the agenda before you. Are there any corrections that need to be made to this agenda? Hearing none, the agenda stands. All right, we also have before you the meeting minutes from our work session, our closed session, and our regular meeting from February. Are there any conditions, corrections that need to be made to those minutes? Hearing none, those minutes stand. All right. Public comment, Mr. Chapman, any comments?
No, Madam Chair.
Great, moving right along. That brings us down to number 7, reports. At this time, I'll yield the floor to Dr. Woody for his report.
Okay, you have it within your packet, some facilities, finance report. So let me just run over a few of these. The Andrews Middle School roof project is nearing completion. I think it's next week. Is that correct, Mr. Higgins, that they're going to do the final inspection?
The final will be in 2 weeks. There's one more installation they have to do, but the building inspector was there this week and he has given the nod to go ahead for the final.
Thank you. Also, you can see some pictures. The board approved the padding at Murphy Elementary School, and you have some pictures there to see what that looked like. The Hiwassee Dam retaining project is hopefully will be done in the next 2 to 3 weeks, no more than a month, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks. You also have in your packet a couple of items that we are want to use sales tax for. You see we on our chillers, what we're wanting to do, add on to the Andrews Middle School chiller service agreement contract, the Hiwassee Dam chiller. As you know, we have a new chiller there, adding on this $2,600 or $26,080. That chiller will be under a service agreement. They will come in, they will maintain it over the next 4 years. They will winterize it. So they will take responsibility for that. You also have in your packet the personnel agenda. And then the final thing I'm going to mention in my report is we received a grant for the Center for Safe Schools. Within that grant, we got $125,000. The part that I mentioned is the $100,000. We're going to take and put some safety film on our interior or our entryways. That's what the grant was written for. To put that there, it's also that safety grant will also have, like for instance, Andrews High School. It should have like Wildcat symbols or something that the company will work with the school to have. Murphy will have bulldogs, just different one that'll make the entryway very appealing there. And did I skip the one on the storage building for, I believe I did skip that one, for the Murphy High School baseball team to get a storage building to put out at Conahita Park for them to help store their equipment. And that concludes my report.
You've heard Dr. Lee's report. Do I have a motion and a second to approve his report as presented?
Make a motion.
Okay, Mr. Coleman, do I have a second? Okay, Mr. Matthews. Mr. Coleman, discussion? Mr. Matthews, discussion? Board members, discussion?
Madam Chair, I would just like to say one thing. We just got out of a budget work session meeting, and as we look at how we make the numbers work, I just want to go on record and I intend to with my vote, but it's not about people or anything. I just think we need to be very mindful moving forward. We look at positions and take a long, hard look at whether we need to fill vacant positions that come over.
Okay, thank you. Other discussion? Mr. Chapman, roll call vote, please.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Tatum, how do you vote?
No.
Mr. Ellis?
Aye.
Mr. Matthews? Aye. Mrs. Gaddis?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy? Mr. Coleman?
Aye.
Mrs. Raker?
Aye. All right, next item on the agenda will be the finance officer's report, so I will yield the floor to Ms. Hatz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Included in your packet, we have 3 budget amendments for your consideration. Our state public school fund, federal programs fund, capital projects fund. In the state public school fund, these are additional allotments that we received. Notably in here, you'll see the school resource officer allotment of the $352,000 grant award. We did receive it. And these other allotments that's listed are just those that the state are just now releasing, which they are behind on getting those funds out. Federal programs, there has been some reallocation of funds. These are just addition to budgets that's already been established. Except for our PRC 110, that's our 21st century. That was our second allotment. We just received approval this past week for the third allotment. So in our next budget, we will be increasing that one as well. And then the capital project fund request aligns with the capital items presented in the superintendent's report by Dr. Lee. Administration requests approval of those budget amendments as presented.
Okay, great, thank you. You've heard Ms. Hatz's report as presented. Do I have a motion and a second to approve her report? Okay, Mr. Tatum, who's the second? Okay, Mr. Tatum, discussion?
No, Madam Chair.
Mr. Coleman, discussion? Mr. Chapman, fellow board members, discussion? Okay. Mr. Chapman, roll call vote, please.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Ellis, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Matthews? Aye. Mr. Tatum?
Aye.
Mrs. Gaddis?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy? Mr. Coleman? Mrs. Raker?
Aye.
Madam Chair, I did have one piece of informational items. I apologize, I didn't present. Included in front of you is your audited financial statement as of June 30, 2024. Just wanted to point out a couple of pages for you, give you a quick summary of this report. Again, this is for informational purposes. Our auditor's report financial statements are fairly presented and fairly stated. That is that's obviously what we always want to look for in our financial audit, that they feel that they reflect the true operations of Cherokee County Schools. So we did get a clean audit from our auditors, so we're thankful for that. Page 13 of this report, down at the bottom, lists several of our fund balances. So for the board, if you wanted to look at those, you will note that state public school fund and federal grants fund, there are no fund balances. These are use it or lose it dollars. We do not get to carry over unused funds annually in those line items. Our school nutrition fund balance can be found on different pages, page number 18. Our school nutrition is an enterprise fund. It operates differently as a net position. So they have grown from a negative net position in years past to a positive net position, so we are good to see that they're, operating within the black, which is what we hope for. Looking over a couple of other pages, page number 54, this is the reflection of our budget versus our actual expenditures, which is if we were to have any budget violations, where those would be found. We did not have any, in overextended budget items in this audit. Page number 62 is the fund balances and cash accumulation of the student activity accounts that are at the school level by each school. So there are totals there for each of those. There's obviously a lot of information that can be found in this report, but those are typically the highlights that we look at and go over. And I'm glad to answer any questions that the board has any on that.
Other questions from the board? All right. We did clear the vote on that, right? Correct, Mr. Chapman? We voted for good, not on hers, but previously. All right. All right, that comes down to our board chair's report. I have several things I would like to discuss today, so bear with me. Because there's been a lot of things that are going on with our students, and I'm proud of that. So first of all, I'm going to mention some athletic things that were, I thought, very noteworthy and quite an accomplishment. It's my understanding that Ty Clark has scored 1,000 points. He's probably more than that from now. I don't know the exact total. I should have gotten that, but I've been a little busy. So congratulations, Ty Clark. He's a student at Andrews High School. Is he a senior? Okay, senior at Andrews High School. Way to go, Ty. Also, Andrews High School men's basketball team, they were conference champs, correct? Tournament champs, okay. And they went on to play in the first round of the state playoffs as well as the Lady Wildcats. So congratulations to those teams. Murphy High School, your JV Lady Bulldogs team. Where's Miss Leatherwood? Yeah, congratulations to them. They won the conference, did they not?
And the tournament.
Yeah, good for them. Great. Were they undefeated? Is that my understanding, or did they have a defeat?
I think there was one game
Okay.
that they didn't win,
But
but I could be
still,
wrong on that.
well, still, congratulations, Lady Bulldogs. That's a great accomplishment. Of course, I'm going to talk about how Wesley Dam, both the men's team and the women's team. They were, my understanding is, first in conference. The ladies did end up having to share it with Highlands. Men's team, again, got to go to the first round of the playoffs, and the ladies took it further. They went to the second round. So congratulations, all players. Cafeteria scores. Anybody who has ever had to deal with the health department in any capacity, whether it be in pre-K daycare or cafeteria, understands that it's a pretty arduous and strenuous process. We had every single one of our cafeteria score a 100. Congratulations, cafeteria. They are doing this, some schools with 2 workers, some schools with 3 workers. Pat yourself on the back. That's a major accomplishment. That's a huge feat. Thank you, Ms. Hibberts. Thank you, cafeteria staff. I noticed that Mr. Prather's class, Spanish 3 class at Murphy High School, has started a pen pal program where they are asking questions in Spanish. Their Spanish counterparts are answering those and then asking them questions in English. So it is benefiting both of those groups. And so, way to go. You know, a little bit older in here, and I can remember back in the day when we did pen pals. I don't know how many kids today actually know what that is. So, yeah, Mr. Prather, good job. Okay, Murphy High School again has achieved their CONIA accreditation certification. I know I talked about this last month with Tri-County Early College. This month we've got Murphy High School. Looking forward to the remaining high schools to receive that so we can notice them as well. This month is CTE month. Ms. Hayes, Ms. Anderson, they do a phenomenal job. We have several different pathways that we offer where students can do a couple classes or they can become a completer. My daughter did that in foods and now works in the food service industry, and it has everything to do with those classes that she took under Miss LeBlanc back when she was in high school. So I know that Ms. Hayes and Ms. Anderson and our teachers, they work tirelessly to work with the community, to secure internships for our students. And so some of our students are actual interns with the school system, and then outside of the school system with our community partners. Some of them are actually in paying partnerships. So that's just unbelievable, the experience that it gives them, the confidence that it gives them, or if they're going through, like Miss, I'm thinking of Julie, uses class where they can attain those certifications and accreditations that then they can carry forward and put into a real world situation with the job. Just a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Y'all do a lot, and I appreciate what you do. This week is Social Worker Appreciation Week. Where would we be without our social workers? Wish we had more. They devote so much time to our students, not only in school, but then outside of school to get those students in connection with the services that they need in order to be productive citizens, to achieve the best that they can achieve. Their work is tremendous. They have so much that they have to do, and it's tireless, and I appreciate their dedication. Also, last thing I'm going to mention, we have a group of Tri-County early college students who left for Denmark last week. I've been in contact with Mr. Forrester. They've spent 2 days in Herning, learning from the students, giving presentations to students there, taking in everything that culture has to offer, how they do school, how it differs from how we do school here in America. They traveled to Copenhagen today. They are in Italy. They were in Florence yesterday, to my understanding. They are heading to hold on, he sent me he actually sent this to me today. I just need to find it because I don't want to miss it. He said that our Danish partners have showed us amazing hospitality, and we have learned from them. Our students have offered quality presentations about various aspects of American culture, and we are now in Italy, and the group is savoring Tuscany. I've been to Italy, I've been to Tuscany, I love that trip, I'd love to go back. He said that today the group has traveled to 3 of the 5 villages of the Cinque Terre and Pisa. Tomorrow in Florence, and they can see the master works in the Uffizi galleries. If you've never been there, go there. You'll just be amazed. I was fortunate to take part of that program for 4 years with Mr. Forster and Mr. Campana when they were at Murphy High School. The experience and that those students will gain, that will stay with them for the rest of their life. You have several students who have come out from those things. One in particular that I recall, after she went to Paris with Mr. Forster, when she went to college, she did a foreign exchange program, and she ended up being an au pair for 2 years over there. Now she lives there. Now she has learned 2 more languages in addition, maybe 3. She may be working on her 3rd one, in addition to what she originally started with French. And it's all because she was given that opportunity. So she made it count. But I just can't speak enough for that. What a wonderful opportunity that is for our students. I'm thankful that Mr. Forster works tirelessly to put those things together. I'm glad that we were able to resume that travel, because I know we had to go home for a while, but so kudos. So those are just a few of the, one more thing. This is Read Across America Week. How can I forget this? We just had a whole conversation about it. There is nothing more than I love than to see these kids reading, to foster that love of reading. Reading is the foundation of everything. We know that it benefits them in every single aspect of their life. I very much enjoyed when my daughter was young and was still for 2 seconds. And if you know my daughter, you know how true that is. When she would sit and let you read to her. And then when she started reading, she wanted to do it all on her own. And her love for reading grew over the years. She still does it to this day. Anyway, I just, this week has been wonderful. I've gotten to see all the pictures from the schools, from the kids, from the crazy hair day, the crazy sock day, just all the fun things they've done. As Davis was telling me today that they did a drop everything and read this afternoon, and they had 347 students and staff that participated in this. They lined their halls. Ms. Cutshaw was shaking her head back there. She was there, and she said that you could hear the whisper as you were going down the halls while they were reading. You'll never regret having a strong combination of that. So I appreciate all the extra effort. I appreciate those folks. I know I've had board members that have been out in the schools this week and who have read to our students, as well as Dr. Woody, and just so valuable. So thank you for doing that, for coming to our schools, for reading to our students. That is one of the things that I always look forward to, and it's a highlight for me. All right, old business, we have none. That brings us down to item number 10, New business, so under A for offer for real property, you have the offers in there. I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to decline the offers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Was that, who was that, Mr. Taylor? Okay. All right. All right. I have no discussion to add to this. Mr. Tatum, do you have discussion to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fellow board members, do you have discussion to add? No? All right. Mr. Chapman, do we, what? Okay, all right. So we're just gonna do a general vote. All in favor of declining the offers, signify by aye. Aye. All those, or any who oppose by the same sign. All right, great. That leads us to item B, the extension of the mowing contract, which I will yield the floor back to Dr. Williams.
Okay, you have in your packet, we're just going to do an extension of the mowing contract. I think you have a corrected copy. Did I see that you have laid on our table? So you do have a corrected copy. There was one thing that was on the original copy that no longer applies. So, I don't know, Mr. Higgins, is there anything you want to add about it?
That was the banks around the former central office at Murphy, so I removed that off of it, around $240. It was $500 that came on.
Okay.
There were a couple of them that were adjusted just due to the nature of the work on that. But those did not, the adjustments, if I remember correctly, do not exceed any of the previous bids that were the year before. So it would not compromise the previous bid.
So what can we do with this?
Second motion.
Okay, to it, all right, so, and I don't have to run on you.
I probably would.
Okay, all right, so do I have a motion and a second to approve, the extension of the mowing contract? Okay, by Mr. Matthews, do I have a second? Okay, second by Mr. Murphy. Mr. Matthews, discussion?
No.
Mr. Murphy, discussion? Excuse me. Fellow board members, discussion? Okay, then, Mr. Chapman, roll call vote.
Mr. Tatum, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Gaddis?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy? Mr. Coleman? Mr. Ellis? Mr. Matthews? Mrs. Gregory?
Aye. All right, item C, school facilities. So we've been given a resolution, literally as we came in this afternoon, that has been sent over from the commissioners. I don't know what more we can say right now. I would personally like to take a little more time to go through this little resolution before I make some comments on it and send it back to them. Is that what we need to do? So what I'd like to do is actually take this. Yeah, take this. I'm going to take it and study it, and then perhaps, when we come back next month, we can have some things that to present back to this resolution, and then, clarify a few things, and if they need some clarification on some things as well, that's what I would like to do.
I would like to say that I think the resolution is, and I've always felt this way, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it this week. We sent back $50 million for a high school that was going to at least consolidate 3. So we sent that back because the
I'm gonna correct you, we didn't, they did.
We did too. We had just as much to do with it. We sent it to them as we sent it back. The county, our constituents, did not want a consolidated high school. Everybody realizes that we need to consolidate in some ways. We have 13 campuses. If we send this resolution, if we send a grant in for a high school for $62 million to DPI, we're a tier 2 school now. We're gonna get laughed out of the state. We get $50 million back for something that doesn't even do that does more than this will do. This will do nothing but build one high school. So I'm just gonna say right now, I've always been against it. Absolutely would never vote for this, ever, I think. And with that, I'd like to say something else. I really thought about consolidation over the last couple of months. And this is what I want as a board member. I think that we've done our due diligence, but I'm gonna point some fingers at central office. We should get, in the next meeting, we should get information from central office and the CFO pertaining to financial, educational, facilities, and personnel for all three of the plans that we've thrown up against the wall and waited on something to stick, all right? We can't make a decision based on just our emotions. I'm never gonna vote to close Andrews, I'm not gonna vote to close Hollis Dam unless it's an amazing decision that's good for everybody, not just for educational purposes, but for financial purposes, for facilities purposes, for personnel purposes. We've not been told, and I hear there's an email out there. I've been on the board now for over 4 years. I've never seen this information. I've never seen it from central office. Given to us as a board, this board or the last board that I sat on, that said, look, this is a good plan. And I'm not just saying that I'm gonna vote just on financial reasons. Why are we consolidating? That's a question that we have to ask. Is it just to save the county $1.4 million that they're gonna take away from us from 46, top 46? Because that to me is not just a good reason to consolidate. Is it going to be better education-wise? Is it going to be better for the communities it's going to affect? Those things have never been answered. And I need those answers before I can make another decision, or I can vote one way or the other for anything else. And if all of that information is put out, it's going to be so much easier. There's a chance that we will never be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-0. But I'd much rather send something that's 6-1 because we all agree that, hey, this is a good plan. We don't know. We've never been presented with that information. So I want that information. So I think this, the central office and CFO, we need those numbers. Tell me if this is good financially, if this is good personnel-wise, if this is good education-wise. And then we can stop throwing stuff up against the wall. This fixes nothing. Andrews Elementary is in just as bad a shape as Murphy High School. So this plan fixes nothing. Oh, that's it.
Okay, which is why I think, yeah, because I would like to go through this, I'm going back through this line by line.
So if I could make a suggestion, as well as taking the time to go over the paper that the county commissioner sent to break it down, as well as giving not only educational enhancements as well as financial needs. Been working on for the last couple of weeks on Jaybird, pretty much what you're saying, is getting that information together, as well as it coming from central office. But I would like to ask if we could do a work session within the next 2 weeks, strictly to go over this and guarantee, I know on my end, I'll bring that information with it as well to look at, not only with the plans that we propose, but the one the county proposed, will actually put on dead even with each other, and you can see which one does what. It's a lot of work, but it's pretty good.
Can you guys come up with that kind of information in 2 weeks? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, people are like, hey, let's just send all the kids from Peachtree and Warren Street to Murphy Elementary. But people don't know, it's full. Murphy Elementary is exploding at the seams, and people don't know that. So you couldn't close Peachtree and Martin Street and send them to Murphy Elementary or to Murphy Middle School. You couldn't. So that's the information that we need to put out to our constituents that, hey, we can't do that, but we can do this, and it's going to cost this much money. I just feel like we have to start like doing it in a scientific way instead of just like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Wait a minute. And I'm not saying that you did. Right.
Can be good.
But can you guys come up with that kind of information in 2 weeks?
Can I ask a clarifying
Yeah.
question? And I think you touched on it a little bit. What is the will of the board in terms of, as you move forward at your consolidation plans? Are you doing it for building purposes alone, meaning staff will remain the same until attrition takes care of it? Or is the will of the board to save, as you said, 23 locally paid teachers? And that's what we're looking at, reducing our local budget by that amount? Or is the will of the board to come to a configuration to better utilize the 23 teachers for areas that we identified as needs that are currently not met?
I would take a combination.
I would too, that's tough.
So to go, we can definitely get, I mean, we do have these figures. I mean, we have been working on them over the years. So we can definitely put that together, but I think it's very important to know the why. So that way we make sure that we're presenting it to you in a way that you're wanting it to see it.
I think I think there's a happy medium there, because it can't just be financially, that's not, financially, it doesn't fix education-wise, right? And it doesn't fix the communities that you're about to affect. So I think that there's a happy medium,
you wanna
gray
see
area
it-
there that you have to play in.
So from a financial standpoint, you want to see it as if it was separate, like as if you're cutting it based off of your merger, but educationally, you want to see an addendum that if you were to retain it, how it benefits educationally, so two separate.
Because
Just for.
I mean, look, I told you a couple days ago when we were having a conversation, I may not vote for the financial one, and I may not vote for the educational one. I mean, they're gonna have to, I'm gonna lay out both of them, and which do I think is best for children.
And it may depend, you talk about the time frame. Each of those areas you want to drill down, the depth of what, drill down, all in look at different things through each of the plans.
I think that if we do this, then it's gonna be easier to go to the county commissioners and to our constituents who will go to the county commissioners and say, look, this is the better plan because of X, Y, Z, not just because Billy went to Andrews and I want to go to Andrews. Like I think that it's best that if we move away from that.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you thinking based upon the plans that have been?
I would like to see
Or
the
are we based upon just the three plans?
I'd like to see the three plans unless central office has another plan that we don't know about. You can put that in there too.
Okay.
I want to see some options. That way, like I said, if we come to the option of a 7-0 board and vote yes, it's gonna be real hard for the county to say no.
So one thing, Mr. Ellis, is a lot of the numbers we are operating on is from the 2017 assessment, where we had someone come in and truly audit, these are the costs.
Now, I want you to understand, you mean you both know. Did you tell me what the square foot is building right now?
$475,500.
Yeah.
So you're
That's a
also,
big difference between
see,
17.
we've got a list of identified needs that 2017 to 2025, what are the real numbers on that from someone who truly cost estimates those and moves those into the current number? I mean, that's just one area that we're looking at.
Yeah, I don't want to go by 17 numbers. That, we won't get anything out of that.
So we've contacted the individual that did those numbers. I mean, we're talking, it's supposed to have those numbers. Depending on you on estimated numbers or some pretty hardcore numbers. You see that, that's what I mean by the depth of how you have this thing examined.
We need hardcore numbers, even if it costs us money to get those. Just like looking at this property across the road from Murphy High School,
It costs money.
we're at the point, yeah, it costs money to do anything, and it's money well spent. So we need real numbers from the experts, not spitballing numbers, kind of like that property.
We had a firm do that before.
That's right.
They sound off to say. we
They
can
also
go
gave
in
us
and-
options. They also gave us plans. It wasn't me coming up with the plan, or another board member coming up with the plan. They looked at money well spent. They looked at our needs, they analyzed our district, and they said, based on where you're at, here are some options, and I think they gave us like 5 options. From that, we narrowed it down to 1, and we voted on the 1, and the rest is history.
But you went back to the same company, all the data's gonna be the same except for the numbers, for the most part.
It should make it easier.
That's what I'm saying, so it shouldn't be like we have to pay that whole thing, they should be able to punch in those numbers that are different now, and we also, first word.
And those companies are the ones that have the estimators that are aligned to us.
And I'd like to say something else to piggyback off what Mr. Ellis said, and
question that Ms. has answered, about why are we consolidating? I know I beat this dead horse, but I'm gonna use it as an example. So I'm gonna ask, I guess it's rhetorical, but if anybody has an answer and wants to answer, that'd be great. Why does Andrews Elementary students not have a music class? Anybody want to answer that? Why are they the only elementary students in the entire county that does not get music? If nobody wants to answer, I want to say it's because we can't afford it. Right? We can't afford it. So why can't we afford it? Because we duplicate services. So in my mind, we, right now, as a school district, we spend our money in a way that I feel like it's chasing our tail, duplicating services all over the county. And the ripple effect of that is we have kids that go without. And I would say that, and I'm not saying that because it's my district. If Hiawassee Dam or March Creek or Peachtree or Ranger or Murphy was the only students in the county not getting a very valuable service educationally that all the other kids are getting in the county, I would be saying the same thing just as loud. So that's why we need to consolidate. We've got a money crisis and we got an education crisis. When you can go down the road and kids can go without what they can get 10 minutes down the road, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that. And I'm gonna continue to say that. It's not right. So, that's why we need to consolidate.
So I hear you say consolidation, and I hear Mr. Ellis saying he's not going to. Which to me is not a consolidation.
I just think that it has to be a good plan. And this right here is not a good plan.
Well, I don't agree with what has been sent to us, but I would actually like time to go through it, because I have many thoughts about what has been sent, and maybe lack of understanding, on their end. So, all right, so I heard work session. You want it in 2 weeks, so 2 weeks from today is the 20th. You all are gonna have to leave that on me, I'll do whatever.
While they look at the dates, I want to throw out something. I know this makes it harder on our staff, but when we have work sessions to discuss important things and they're at 4 o'clock, the public can't be here.
I'm gonna back up on that, because if it's a priority to you, you're gonna make the time to come, I did.
Mr. Ellis, if you wanted, those numbers good about that company, we have work on that, but that can't be in 2 weeks.
Yeah, about that.
I mean, well, we'll just do it in the next meeting right before. But, I mean, could you have it a month before the next meeting?
I can talk that.
I mean, I didn't think it's 4 weeks, but I would at least
Or Madam Chair, just, maybe I spoke a little quickly. Maybe we could at least have those live streamed so the public can.
Oh, I'm fine with that, I have no problem with
And then that's a
that,
balance.
but it is
between the time of our staff.
advertised, and when you are passionate about something, you're passionate about something, I'm passionate about something, it is my priority, and I will move my schedule to meet that, priority, so, I'm coming at it from, that's how I look at things. So now I hear maybe before our next meeting on the 3rd,
Sounds good.
so work session at 4 o'clock on April the 3rd. Let me write this down so we can.
And I want to clarify, I think that what Jeff said, he did not say that he's for that same consolidation. I think what Jeff was saying, and I think that we all agree that consolidation has to happen at some level.
It
And that
does.
consolidation should save us enough money to be able to hire that music teacher.
No, I agree.
That's what you're saying.
But when I hear, yes, I'm in favor, and then no, I don't want to close,
I don't want.
that's what I'm saying.
I want to fix the problem. I don't want to destroy a community.
I agree with that, but again, we all of this table recognize that we've got to do something somewhere to get these buildings down, to get these services together, so.
And Coleman had a plan that did that.
Well-
Andrews has 1.5, Andrews has 2 feeder schools. Hiawassee Dam has 1.5, honestly, and Murphy has 4.5. So let's start there. And that's been my say from the first day I got here.
And I'll say one thing, and I know I always talk too much, I'm sorry. But when you say, I want to agree to close Andrews, and I get, Madam Chair, what you mean about like, you can't just, I think what you're basically saying is like, we got to consider.
We have-
can't.
Yes.
I think where I'm at, as one of the 4 board members that voted for the last consolidation plan, I'm now against it, and simply because we already rejected that plan.
Never get
So
away.
that's why I am against that plan now, because we gave away we turned back $62 million for it. Whether we should have done it or not, it's all a moot point, there's no sense in talking about it. So why would we try to do the exact same thing? And I do think that this resolution, like you said very well, it doesn't move the needle enough. It's moved it even less than the same thing we just sent $62 million back to the state for. So, so I do think I'm open to any and all ideas except the same one that we gave millions back. That doesn't make any sense. And I say that as somebody that voted for the last one and thought it was a good idea. Why would we try to do the same exact thing? So I do agree with what you're trying to say there. Why would we try to do the same thing we failed to do? So I was hoping to do something else.
All right. All right. I'm moving on down to the announcements of the meeting then. So, couple things. We will now have a work session on Thursday, April the 3rd, beginning at 4 o'clock here at Central Office. Then our next regularly scheduled board meeting will follow that to begin at 5:30. Okay? All right. That brings us to final comments. Start at the end of the table, Mr. Collins. Mr. Tatum.
I'll just say 2 things. Dr. Woody, I would like to thank you and John for getting Andrews Middle School roof fixed. That thing is leaked. I would say since I've been on the board, but it sounds like since the building was built. And thank you very much. And another thing I will say is, as we talk about doing work sessions to continue this topic, I feel very strongly that we need to start scheduling community hearings in each of the communities. The previous board was accused of this, we're being accused of it, that we are not listening to the public. I will say that, like the Madam Chair said, every one of these meetings we have are open to the public, and that is your chance to come and tell us what you think. But I think we should go beyond that and start scheduling meetings to go to the communities and ask what they think about the future of our schools.
Mr. Ellis.
No.
Ms. Gaddis. Mr. Murphy.
I'll just piggyback on what Mr. Tatum said. I think the community meeting should have been done probably 2 years ago, but definitely agree that all of these start taking place.
Mr. Matthews.
I've got a couple of things. I would just like to say, regardless of your political affiliation, I'm not getting into that, but I just wanted to commend, we have a young lady in our community, Hayden McNabb, who has done something I think that is pretty noteworthy, and to have, again, regardless of your political beliefs, but to have a president look at her and speak with her individually is pretty impressive. And there may have been other meetings as well, I don't know, but in fact, I was listening, surfing a little bit online, and there were a couple of national news places that made reference to Peyton and said, Peyton McNabb said this, and she was very well spoken in what she had to say. And so I just commend her for using her voice, and I think we should be very proud of her for doing that. And secondly, I would like to thank Andrews Elementary. They reached out to me and asked me to read to them, and I'm happy to. I'm kind of semi-retired now, so any other schools that want me to read, I'd love to do that. Just give me a call. And this was I read to a second grade class, and they were very well behaved, and they seemed to enjoy it. It was a first for me, and it was kind of an exciting time because I was actually able to read the book that I published, a children's book called Hot Cakes for Supper. You can get that at lulu.com. But anyway, that was an exciting time, and enjoyed that and talking to the students. And so yeah, it's an exciting time, and as I would just echo what our chair has said about reading, and just it's so important, and I encourage all parents and those that are caring for students at home to encourage that. A lot of times you have to, schedule that time and say from this time to this time, we're going to read, and also read yourself, right? When you're doing that. I have to brag real quickly before we end on my granddaughter, Violet, who I think when she was 5 years old, she was reading at a 5th grade level. And part of that is because she was exposed very, very well. She was exposed none at all to television or these for the first 5 years of her life. And even now she gets to watch, I think it's Miraculous. It's a little French program, but she gets to watch maybe 30 minutes of that every 4 or 5 days. So it's very, very limited. So parents and other people at home, please encourage your children to read.
Yes.
So
We know how important and how vital those first
Absolutely.
5 years are, and that foundation that's set in that, so.
absolutely.
Thank you for that. Mr. Chapman, do you have anything to add on comments? Dr. Woody?
I just wanted to say basically along the same lines, thank you for those that invited me to come and read. I did enjoy that. Thank you very much.
All right. I don't have anything else to say. I've spoken a lot about our students, and I will always continue to tout the achievements of our students, of our staff, of our schools, and the hard work that they put into it. I always want to, I don't want to be a hindrance, I want to be your support. So I appreciate everything that you all do. And it's not easy. And like I said, I'll support you however and wherever I can. And I will die on that hill. So with that being said, I make a motion to adjourn this meeting. I need a second. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.